Welcome back to the Isaac Abrams Show, everybody. I'm your host, Isaac Abrams. Today's very special guest, detective, actor, producer, writer, comedian, and first-time philanthropist, Michael Lenoci, everybody.
Hey, guys, calm down. Hey, thank you. Dude, thanks for having me, guys. This week, we are going to discuss a bunch of fun topics from weather patterns to
10 a.m. sports games.
10 a.m. sports games to
Social media
plot twists,
and
thumbnails.
Lots of thumbnails. Enjoy the episode, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Oh, what's up to you? It's your pod. You want me to wear it then? I'll wear it.
Let's start with them on, and then if you get
I can wear them. I just don't. I go on podcasts. I go, do we have to wear these? I go, because I never understand. I think it's funny. I think it's like, why are we wearing headphones? Like, in general.
That is funny.
It's like, what's the point of this? So people know we're on a podcast?
Yeah. And
it's
because
so stupid.
Joe Rogan started it, so we all have to do
now
it.
I don't even on my podcast.
You don't. I've been watching your podcast for the last 2 hours.
Dude, I think I finally, dude, I've done 7. Are you recording, by the way? I don't care if you are. I've done fucking 7 or 8 podcasts. Dude, I'm sliding.
Today?
I've done 7 or 8 podcasts in my life. And I finally think I'm like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep having female guests for a female's perspective, so I don't get yelled at as much online, and just strictly talk about dating.
I mean, that's the number one formula
It's just
that's what's working right now.
Dude, when I was younger and I was a young comic and I had representation, they would try to brand me into a hole. I was like, what? I was like, now I'm 40. I'm like, oh yeah. You fucking moron. Like, that's how you brand yourself, and you're able to, like, sell yourself unless you're going to be a great comic who has a distinct point of view. It's like, all right, your act is mostly dating, being 40 without married. Do this specific podcast, talk about your dating experience. I'm pretty seasoned in it. 40.
Yeah.
And I've never been married, and I've been dating for 15 years.
Since you're 25.
I mean, I've had a 2-year relationship in there, but like I have a lot of perspective on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm like,
dating in LA is different than dating anywhere else on the planet.
Yeah, and I talk about it, and I've had bits from it, so now it's like I feel good. I'm in a groove, and I like it. Now, it's shot well finally. Is this yours?
Yeah.
You own it.
Yes. You're
successful.
This is much smaller than my old one.
Really?
I had a studio off of Barham that had 3 studios in it. We were doing Joe Coy, Jim Jeffries, and for a little while Tim Dillon all at the same time.
You used to do Tim's, right?
I consulted for Tim for a number of episodes.
Did you consult on that TV show?
Which TV show?
I just saw he promoted something today. He's got like a little Netflix thing.
No, when him and Ben split up, I went Team Ben.
I don't know who Ben is.
Ben was his old producer that he fired and tried to get back.
Oh.
Ben Avery. He has his own.
Well, once guys blow up, they become. That's your job. If you're, your job. If you become very successful because you find a lane, which is one of the harder things in Hollywood. Very few people do it, and if they do find a lane and they become very successful, one of the requirements is to be very difficult to work with, and that is just across the board. And I'm telling you right now, if I find a lane and it's polished and it's perfect, I will be that.
Just do your thing.
I will be I'll be like, this is how I want it, and if you don't like it, and then people are, blah, 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 he's difficult to work with. Okay.
The other key point is to not understand any of the technical assets that go into the production. So when you're trying to guide your team, as the owner of the show, you're just like, make it better without any further instruction whatsoever.
Well, thankfully, I've come from I've edited, I edit, I produce, I've done stuff, so I have a little empathy or understanding from people's sound. I haven't figured out.
Yeah,
sound is difficult. Besides this, but like when someone's on set with sound, it's just too boring.
It is boring, and that's why there's sound people. But like,
editing is an art, so I like editing, and I enjoy editing my clips. It's like fun, and I've gotten better over the years. And you're like, oh, this is cool.
I mean, if you do anything long enough, you're gonna get good at it.
Yeah. I like that.
That's I think what the number one gripe that I'm hearing from comics now is that, like, when I started comedy, I didn't know I was going to have to do camera and audio and clips and social media expert. And it's like, well, the game has changed.
Well, it's way more competitive, so that's why.
Yeah.
Like that's like a basketball player who can dunk and be like, I didn't know I was going to have to defend and like score 40 points. I thought I could just, like, no, you didn't. I didn't know I was going to have to practice.
Right.
Right. Like
I thought it was just gonna be good.
You don't get you don't get to be Kobe or MJ or LeBron and shoot all those shots without the behind the scenes stuff. And it's a privilege actually. Like if a comic's like, man, you have to do so much to make it. It's like that's because we live in a privileged world where comedy's so big that there's people commentating on it. Mm-hmm. That's what I tell people, especially now, is like football. So I have a sports podcast, right? Mm-hmm. I do a sports podcast. I don't really promote it that much on my Instagram because it doesn't go hand in hand. But I've always been a fan of it where there's thousands of podcasts analyzing football and baseball and hockey. And that's how big that is. That's how popular it is. Like you can find 10,000 people in every major city that are a fan of all 32 teams. Mm-hmm. Literally. You go to you could go to Chicago, there's going to be 10,000 Saints fans there probably.
Yeah.
That's how big football is. Comedy is now so big that there are, I would say, more than 5 podcasts now that are big that aren't comedians. That are just analyzing comics, breaking down podcasts, and breaking down specials and breaking down interactions. That's how big comedy's getting. Yeah. And that allows you the ability to be like, okay, now I have to edit and do this because that's giving you the opportunity to blow up.
Yeah.
In the 80s, people were like, it seemed like so less competitive. You just had these characters being on TV. Yeah, but they were just sitting around. And you had to hope. You know how many tens of thousands of people tried to do comedy in the 80s and 90s and didn't get discovered because there was no outlet? They were handcuffed. And now we have the ability where you don't have to live here.
It's true.
Necessarily. You know, there are points where you have to be in a hub.
Right.
New York, Austin, Chicago, LA. You got to be in a hub at least.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing some sketch shit, funny shit. Because you got to get around good comics to tell you how to do comedy.
Yeah.
You got to learn what's good and not. Otherwise, you could be locally hacky or just doing local stuff. You got to learn how to from the best. But once you get to a certain level, you can live anywhere. I only have to go 4 times a week. I don't have to get up 12 times a week. I've been doing comedy 15 years. Yeah. I know my act.
Are you going to stay in LA?
Yeah, forever. Yeah. I mean, I would have to be Matt. I would have to be one of the, not Matt, but like big enough where I'm like, I can live somewhere and I go to a city and it's sold out. Mm-hmm. So the money, it doesn't matter where I live.
Right.
And then in that case, I don't know. I still might live here because now you're making that much money that living in LA is not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
So
when you're making arena money or theater money.
You know, I don't know if I go to, I like being near the ocean. So it's either Florida or LA.
Yeah.
You know? So anyways, let's get started.
Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Yeah. This has been episode 161.
161.
Yeah.
So you got about...
actually 162.
340 more to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to get to that 500. And I've never gotten past 100.
I did 438 episodes of a daily pop culture show during Pandy. So I almost hit 500.
How did you do 4? You were doing like 2 a week, 3 a week?
15-minute episodes. We recorded for an hour and a half. I chopped them into 15-minute episodes.
Did it gain steam or no?
Not even a little bit. Yeah. It just didn't take off. No. People want to see funny shit. They want to see us talk about farts and pussy.
Silly,
and
be silly.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Next season will probably transition. I think I'm going to get a second chair.
Next season, dude. We're excited for next season.
Yeah. I mean, I just started season 4.
Dude, we're on season 4, dude. How crazy is that, dude? Season 4 is wild, dude. One of my favorite seasons of the Isaac Abrams show, which is clearly he's done a lot of mushrooms and acid, and that's how he came up with this. That's mushroom. That's mushroom influence, and I only know that because I've done this stuff.
I've done a lot of mushrooms. Also, this just happens to be the product of $60 and a trip to Fiverr, which I found a Filipino graphic artist.
Would that bother you? This would bother me.
That the touching of the E in the outline?
That's how crazy I am. I need that. You need to make my name smaller.
Really? Here's what happened. I make this for every guest.
Yeah, I assumed. Can you believe this? I am the first.
No. I've had Michael Lenoci up for 158 episodes just waiting for you to come on.
Wow.
I left the charger to my I make them on my laptop. I post them on that computer down there. That's linked to this television. As I was making it, my computer died. Left my charger at home. So
you would have been bothered by that too?
I mean, now that you pointed it out, it's completely bothering me. And I would cut right now and change it if my laptop wasn't dead.
No, I don't. I just want you to know how my brain is. I would have been like,
yeah, because really it's 2 different colors of white.
I don't think they'll notice. I mean, you guys tell us. Do you notice? Comment if you notice, and if you comment and you live in LA, free tickets to a show in LA. What you don't know about LA is we'll give you free tickets whenever you want.
And it's not even to see us. It's just free tickets.
You can get if it's at the Laugh Factory in Improv, I'll get you free tickets.
I will drive up to any club that you want to go to, and I'll get you in, and I'll just drive home.
Yeah. Literally, if you comment on this episode.
Yeah,
that's it.
Just comment Tix.
Tix.
But you have to spell it right. Tix. You can't be Ticks.
Thought it was Tik.
Michael Lenoci.
I thought this was your joke book, but it's your notebook.
It's actually my notes for when I direct shit. But my other notebook's at home also. So just wrote down some notes. I wanted to be prepared. You're a big guest compared to the guests that I normally get.
Yeah. I feel like you've had bigger guests.
I mean, come on.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have a list of things. Like, who does he have on this week?
Literally, it was Josh Shakespeare was on this week, but
good name.
Yeah. Great name.
Yeah.
Young dude, 25 years old. Known him since he was 20. Just watched him come up through the mics.
25, young.
Yeah. You got a special. Take your time.
We did it.
It
was about a year ago.
Was it a year ago?
Almost. We shot it in December.
How long did it take to edit?
I think we put it out in February.
Well, that's not bad.
February, March, yeah.
Yeah.
March it came out. March, I put it out. I don't know. April. I put it out in April. I put it out in April, but I think it was done by March.
Done?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's when we put out Justin Foster's special, too.
I edited a lot. I mean, I was just sitting there, and I was like, take it out. He's like, really? And I'm like, it's just not hitting. It's just not good. Took out a lot of jokes. I mean, I got it down to like 30 minutes.
There you go.
I was like, originally thought I was going to put out a 45-minute special. I was like, nope, take it out. It's bombing. Don't like it. And then I was just like, this doesn't matter. I got one viral clip out of it, and that's all that mattered.
Dude.
And it still just keeps getting comments on it every day.
That's all you need.
The women are angry. And I never even thought of it like that. You never know how people are going to react to a bit.
Every time I've gone viral.
Yeah.
It's
like,
because
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's because somebody gets offended by something you didn't, like a whole new angle you didn't see.
I didn't even see it from that point of view, but Jesus, thanks for making me realize I am a piece of shit.
Yeah. Well, we've been trying to tell you.
Yeah,
that's why you're here. Actually, come on in, everybody. This is an intervention.
Guys, you're not gonna fix. You can't teach an old cat new tricks.
Speaking of cats, I have some hard-hitting questions for you.
Let's do it.
If you won the lottery, what are you spending your money on? What's your first 2 big purchases? We're talking like hundreds of millions of dollars. House in LA. Cash?
I think so. Yeah, I'm buying a house.
Yeah.
For my dad.
Where does he live? Florida still?
Yeah. I'm buying him a house out here.
Oh, nice.
Probably Malibu.
Malibu?
Yeah. Kind of near the market, so he can just like take a golf cart to it.
Get a sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to do a lot. So probably a house for my dad that is essentially mine because he's probably dipping out in like 10 years. Mm-hmm. So then it's mine. But like a house for my dad. First thing.
In your name?
It's in my name, yeah.
Yeah. And a house for yourself. But not in Malibu.
No, I think I would have the house, and it'd be a nice house. He would have it. I would probably also live there, and hopefully I could anyone can use it in the family. But then I really like my apartment in Santa Monica, and then I might just buy. After that, I'm buying like maybe an apartment in New York and an apartment in Miami.
Yeah.
So then I have my 3 spots.
There you go.
So I can just stay at those spots. Yeah, and then outside of that, I would just stay at hotels if I was in other cities. But Miami, New York, and LA would have apartments.
Are you
big house in Malibu?
Are you still going to pursue? Let's say you got $300 million.
Yeah.
Still doing comedy.
I'm doing a sold-out tour immediately
because you're going to spend $10 million in marketing. Gotcha.
And I'm gonna go have fun, and I'm gonna clip it up and have like a whole team of like. I'm still gonna do stand-up because it's fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun, and then yeah, I mean, my ultimate dream is to tour around the Miami Dolphins schedule. Is be big enough and be like, go to an agent and be like, the schedules came out. There's my road dates. You have 8 road dates. I want all 8 of those road dates for fall, and that's my schedule. Only 8 road dates. I want a show Friday and Saturday in those cities. Sunday I go to the game. I come home. That's it.
But no late show Saturday because you want to be well rested for the game.
No, we can do late Friday and Saturday shows. Just no show Sunday.
Even if it's a 10 a.m. game.
There's no 10 a.m. games. They're all at 1 p.m. They're just 10 a.m.
here.
If it's at 1 p.m.
Yeah,
there.
not a sports guy.
Yeah.
Just let that cat out of the bag.
It's okay.
If you could act for any director on the planet, who would it be?
Christopher Nolan.
Okay, that's a good one.
Probably Martin Scorsese.
You got to get in while he's still breathing.
Yeah, but I mean that's just because he's he loves mob movies and Italian movies, and then obviously Quentin Tarantino would be fun, and he's a comedy fan.
Yeah, he's at the store a lot.
Is it his last one? Is he gonna Jay-Z it?
I hope so.
It's just he's young. What is he in his 50s?
Yeah, pushing 60 probably.
He's assuming he lives till his 80s. What is he gonna do for 20 years? It's just like such a brand, a way to brand. I'm only doing 8.
Yeah.
Is it 8 or 9?
10.
10. I'm only doing 10. But if Christopher Nolan comes out with a movie, I'm watching it.
Oh yeah.
And also, it's like, if I'm acting, I want to be an actor. Like that's the type of acting I want to do. I don't want to do comedies. I mean, I'll do comedies, but my whole goal of acting is actually to get to a level where I am playing a detective that is kind of figuring out a murder case.
Okay.
And I would be my whole Quentin Tarantino would be like, I'm only gonna do 10 films once I'm big enough, and they're all 10 of these films are thrillers, drama thrillers, and I play a detective in all 10
every time,
and it's like Tom Cruise plays the same guy in all his movies. Jack Ricker, whatever. Mission Impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's always like the alpha guy trying to fight the CIA.
Yeah.
Or it's like Matt Damon did it for a lot, but I want to play hard hitting detective just trying to crack the case, but great dramas, really well written.
Yeah.
But
you want to be Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
He's never not been a cop.
Oh yeah.
He's either a cop, former cop, or a detective in everything.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to be action movie star though.
Oh,
I don't care. No, because it's a different art of acting. It takes way more work. I think it's very hard. Physically fit, the work you have to learning, too much to learn. Whereas I can maybe play myself more as a detective, like a hard-hitting detective trying to figure out what cold case this is. Preferably real stories that are turned into movies too.
Like that Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
What was that thing where they're in the swamp? They're looking for it's True
Detective.
True Detective.
So yes, a lot roles like that, because one, you got to look at all your passions throughout my life when I was a child. Ready? NFL. Always wanted to find a way to work with the Dolphins. I did. Got to do that. And now I still want to. And I want to go into sports media. I like Michael Rappaport's career. It's a perfect career of I'd like that career.
Mm-hmm.
All right? I'd besides standing up for whatever you stand up for passionately every day. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't do that as much, but good for him. But he's been in sports. He's been on NBA courtside commentating on games. He's been on ESPN. He's been in Oscar-winning movies. He's worked next to Robert De Niro. He's worked with Scorsese.
Oh, I thought you were going to say me.
With you.
Yeah.
He's done stand-up. Stand-up maybe be his third thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's been on television shows. Mine might be a little different. Obviously, stand-up's my forefront, but I am on ESPN, and I am maybe commenting on sports. Right now, I'm close, and I'm working on it of trying to just be on Rich Eisen. That's a passion for me. If someone's you want to do Jimmy Fallon or Rich Eisen, I want to do Rich Eisen. Mm-hmm. He's my favorite commentator on the NFL. He covers the NFL the most. I know some people that work for it. Sarah Tiana's husband is the co-host on that show. It's just, I have a whole notepad on my phone of things I'm going to talk about on Rich Eisen's show. That's I'd honestly be very honored to be on that show. And it's not even a crazy thing it's very tangible.
Yeah.
So that's my second thing. And then another thing was there was points in my life where I wanted to maybe be a cop, and I can do that through acting. And I always wanted to, if I was going to be an actor, obviously the lane would be through comedy, right? You get to be in acting roles, but it's like Jordan Peele. He was a comedian, but he's hey, I have a passion of doing drama, scary movies. Mm-hmm. Mine would be hey, I want to do drama. I want to do drama, and I want to do thrillers, and I want to be a detective. I want to solve a case because I find it interesting, and I want to kind of not know, and I want to figure it out.
Okay. So you don't want to write it.
No.
And I'm
not a writer.
you don't want to know the ending as you're acting.
I would have to know the ending to be a good actor, but
you don't want them to just cut out the last 10 pages and be like, "We'll give it to you on the day," so you can just stay in it, figure it out as an actor.
Yeah, I want to, but you just can't because like you have to be a good actor. You have to know the ending. I mean, there are some people you have to know what's the situation. You know what I mean? You might not have to know that killer, but you have to know a lot of the details of like, okay, know that what is this relationship in the scene I'm in with this character? Mm-hmm. Where does it go? That helps you act more in that situation. Does that make sense?
Yes, but from like a directorial standpoint, now I'm fantasizing about never showing.
That would be an interesting way of acting. I don't think anyone's ever done that.
Oh, sure they have.
You think there's an actor who's like page by page, let's go?
No. Well, there's a new wave of young kid actors that are like, I'm going to learn it on the day. I don't want it polluting my brain. It's absolutely horrific,
stupid,
and it makes for a real long shoot.
Like it's like it's like hey man, the way you're acting towards them is you're really nice. I don't know if they just didn't know what the context of the.
They don't get anything. They're just like, I'm gonna be me and I'm gonna say these words.
Yeah, I mean, but anyways, that was I don't even know how I just gave you a lot of food word salad.
Word
is that
food.
What it is?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So that was acting. Oh, because of the director. Yeah. So that's why.
I think you kind of answered this question in your previous answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway. If you could star in any TV show of all time, what would it be? Would it be a cop show?
Sopranos.
Oh, are we Tony?
I mean, that would be an awesome role.
Yeah,
he was just so good. So no, because I can't do that as good as him. But I definitely could be one of the guys.
Yeah,
like like what's his name? He's done some comedy podcast. He was on the first few seasons of Walking Dead. Mm-hmm. He always plays like a cop. I think he played Punisher. That actor.
Oh,
I could do his roles. He's a great actor, by the way.
Yeah, but he wasn't in The Sopranos.
No, but like he's played in movies roles where he's like the side guy. He's like, I'm gonna fucking rough you up.
Frank, something.
Yeah, something.
He almost slapped me once.
Really? I heard he's a hothead. Or had been. I don't know him. I think he's a brilliant actor. I've heard
he did this
through the grapevine
MMA show with one of the Jonas, Nick Jonas.
Uh-huh.
And we were shooting a promo for it. I come up behind him, and as I do when I don't want to startle people, I just put my hand on his back. He was shirtless, and he was sweaty and greased up.
Thought you were being gay.
He turned around. I was like, "Whoa, why are you touching me, man? You don't ever touch a man on his lower back." He's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, dude, you're right. I'm so sorry."
To be fair, you don't touch a man on those lower back. Unless you're trying to make him come. That's different.
Lower back.
Sorry
totally
if we're not allowed to say come.
You got to go a little lower, and you got to get him right in the ass.
But
it was totally my fault.
Also, to be like, relax.
Yeah,
you're not in prison.
No,
you're not. Hey, you're like in a crowded area where people are trying to get by you.
Right.
Like to be that defensive, something happened.
I mean, to be fair, we were in a wide open like warehouse.
It'd be funny if it's just a room and he just like, like, it's just literally an empty room with just you two, and you go, "Excuse me." He's probably like, "What the hell are you doing?" Like, sorry,
pardon me, just gotta.
Yeah, like
just rub my chest on his sweaty back.
Now that we know the story, it is your fault, you fucking asshole.
Yes.
Guy's just literally
and I'm trying to make it his fault.
Fruit in a grocery store. He's like, "What are you doing here?" "Just trying to get by you." He's like, "The second time you've tried to get by me."
There's no one else in here.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I hadn't brought that up.
No, that's the best part of the podcast
so far. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, like I mean, you know, it'd be a great show to act on, but I'd be very terrified because there's some of the best acting I've ever seen with Succession.
Okay,
that would be a fun because I feel like that's actually kind of my humor. It's very dry sarcasm humor where like if there was a role where I'm just on there, I'm like, yeah, cool, you look great. Probably wouldn't hang out with you. Cool.
Oh, like the younger brother role.
Yeah, like literally what
Macaulay Culkin's little brother.
Exactly.
No one knows his name.
Culkin or something like that.
His last name's Culkin.
Brilliant actor, and I actually always thought like, oh, he's now more famous than his brother.
And we can't remember his name.
Not from our generation, but to other people.
Yes.
Which is a brilliant story of coming up under the shadow of a brother who was infamously the most famous child actor of all time. Mm-hmm. And now he, to some generations, is his brother and they wouldn't even know.
I mean, his brother just fucked off to Bali or something.
which probably doing fine. Yeah. He's probably got some Michael Jackson money and stuff, so he's fine.
Every December he gets a huge.
Still, probably.
Yeah. What does he get? Probably gets $500.
I mean, even now he could just step into this world of podcasting and be like, "You want to talk about Home Alone?" And every single podcast in the world would have him, and he could be making $10 million. Like, hey, I'm gonna do a Home Alone podcast. And then just do not one person. Maybe Rogan would not have him, but Theo would have him on tomorrow. And then Theo would be like, "Can we get the fucking sound guy who was on the movie too?"
Right. Yeah.
And then he's like, "Let's get the door guy."
And then he's like, "Let's see you slap your face and scream one time."
But so that's a show that I like the banter of it, and that would be a fun show to act on. And then obviously, Sopranos. Like again, I pick dramas. I think those would be a lot of fun to act on. You know.
That's a surprising answer for me. You and I don't know each other very well, but I would just assume my first natural instinct would be that every comedian would be like, "I want to be the next funny guy," and like just do funny.
I just like knowing more of what my like humor is. Like I grew up, I loved Will Ferrell, loved Jim Carrey. One of my biggest influences was Tom Green. So like I loved this big comedy, doing big things. And I was doing that younger, but then as I developed a personality and became myself, you're like, well, that's not what I do. You know, I'm not like I can do physical stuff, but I'm not doing physical stuff like they do it. Those are geniuses at that. So it's like I think like I'm more dry, like how Succession is that comedy. I like that style of comedy, but sitcom can be fun for sure. And it would be fun if I'm playing a role, but I just think playing those Succession's a comedy, by the way. I don't know how you see it. I
didn't know that. I mean,
have you watched it?
All the way through. I hated the ending.
It's a comedy.
I totally hated the ending.
That's modern day comedy.
Yeah.
That's what comedy is now. You can't make comedies how they used to be. Like that's how comedy has to be now. Barry, you've watched some Barry before? That's a comedy. Almost caught up on Barry. You know what I mean? Like it's like
they put The Bear as comedy. The chef show.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. Because it's like the humor is in the real situations. You can't do slapstick shit anymore. Like if you want slapstick shit, you go on TikTok. Go on Instagram and watch
people falling down and
whatever. Just that's where you're slapstick, but like that's why sitcoms are done. Like it can't be over the top anymore. It's just not. People aren't gonna buy it. So, but yeah, those would be the two shows, unless it was like old school. You know, like obviously I thought I would love to be on SNL.
Yeah.
You know,
I
knowing so many people that have been on it and hearing the nightmare, it's like okay, that's not a dream anymore.
I gave that one up real quick. I was in theater in high school. We would go to New York every New Year's Eve. We'd watch the ball drop.
Yeah.
It's just like we toured SNL, the stages. We saw all the shit. And just from day one, I was like, that's not the type of, like, I don't want, if I'm living in New York, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It was just always like, I've heard horror stories. I never thought it was funny.
Really?
I'm watching it now because the person
you didn't like the Will Ferrell days?
I mean, the Will Ferrell days, it's just, I was never into sketch more than I am into sketch right now because I'm currently making a sketch show, but like, I don't know. It's not.
Yeah.
And the only reason I'm making a sketch show now is because I think it's going to move the needle for me as a comedian.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't even.
Who are you doing it with? Yourself?
Yeah, well, it's.
We can't tell anyone, guys. Cut this part out.
Yeah, cut this part out. We're going to find out how much money we're getting for it on Saturday. So we'll see. I'm going to keep it super low.
All right. Well, if you need craft services, I'm down.
You know how to make sandwiches?
I do.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe you could do some of that cop acting.
License and registration.
I roll the window up. You open the door, pull me out, throw me on the ground.
Man.
Wasn't that one of your guys? Wasn't that in Florida?
Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof, rough week.
Oh, and then we don't have to get into it. It's really affected me, and I should see a therapist. That it ruins my fall.
Oh, because he's
our quarterback's out for 4 or 5 weeks.
That's the quarterback?
No, that was the first week. Tyreek gets arrested, but he played. Week 2, our quarterback, who's infamously known for getting concussions, got another concussion.
Cool.
Yeah. So, and he'll be playing on 10 a.m. games.
So yet another year, the Dolphins probably.
Yeah.
That's all right.
So that's why I'm focusing on acting now as a cop.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you like weapons trained? Do you know how to shoot guns and stuff?
Yeah. No. I mean, I've shot guns. But like I'm not I mean, I don't know. Like, what do I have to? It's acting. What am I doing?
I mean, I don't know how method you are, but like, being able to hold as a detective, you're not going to hold it sideways.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to use the R word, but I'm not that.
Oh, you can use it again.
You really?
Yeah.
I'm not like, I know how cops like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna be like, yo, man, license and registration.
Yeah. And you already did it wrong. It's not like you hold your wrist. You don't hold. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get you some weapons.
Well, hey, thanks, director. Was that big of a deal? Did I need to go through training?
Let's run it back to one. Oh no.
What do I do?
The stunt coordinator is going to handle
that.
Yeah. Pick a number 1 through 5.
3.
3. Describe one thing about you that is misunderstood by your friends.
Well, I think we already kind of went up. Oh, by my friends?
Yeah. Do you have friends?
This is a good question. Misunderstood by people who aren't your friends was easy because we kind of went over that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Is the sarcasm and humor. And I think that if it was with friends, it would have to be something deeper on a level of being empathetic towards things they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
That may be the way I express myself, the way I express my empathy for them is probably misunderstood. And I think that's a valid answer. Because
do you think that sometimes your sarcasm, when you're actually being empathetic, people misunderstood?
They could, or it can just be like maybe necessarily like the way I'll handle things. I mean, listen, I've lost a mom, so like now the way I'll handle stuff, I'll have to tell myself, okay, this is a pretty traumatic moment or a very deep thing for them. So I have to kind of tell myself, how would a normal person respond to this information?
Mm-hmm.
Which sounds sociopathic a little bit. But
no, I think that's actually,
you know what I mean? Like, I have to be like, okay, like, for instance, like, I don't know how this would come off to him, but my buddy today, he was like, hey, I found out my mom has cancer. And I go, okay, what are the details? And I go, okay. And then he gave me the deal. I go, so it sounds like she's going to get surgery, not going to be that serious. It sounds like we're going to get through this. And he was like, yeah, it sounds like best case scenario. And he's telling me, obviously, because he knows I went through it, but I was like, okay, awesome. And then from there, went on to like talking about another subject. Let's go take a walk. Let's get a sandwich. And then being all funny and laughy. And that's my way of being there for someone. Mm-hmm. But maybe, and I don't know that this is taken in a different or misunderstood, but is there a world where someone in there goes, wow, they really just kind of brushed over that subject and didn't want to talk about it?
Yeah.
But, in my mind, I'm like, well, let's just be here for him and we'll go have lunch and talk. And then at the end of our walk, I go, hey, man, I'm really sorry about what you're going through and I'm here for you, obviously. And then that's that. But everybody has their own way of dealing with some stuff that, people have an idea of how they think people are supposed to respond towards things like that, right?
Yeah.
And that goes with like with relationships with women usually. Like they have an idea of how they expect people to respond to their issues with you if you're in a relationship. This is learning through relationships with women and girlfriends I've had. It's like, hey, I don't like the way you're communicating, because they see it like you're supposed to communicate this way. That's my idea of how you were going to communicate. And I'm like, well, that's not how I communicate. Mm-hmm. This is how I communicate. So it's layers of communication, and that's how you have a healthy relationship, if that makes sense.
It does. It does. Yeah. There's a lot to unpack there. I can relate to the friend story, because I lost my father when I was 27. Uh-huh. And very shortly after, my best friend, his dad got a cancer diagnosis. Yeah. So he's like, can I take you out to lunch? I want to pick your brain about something. And he's like, what's it like when your dad dies? And I'm like, okay, maybe a little warning, right? Like, and now I'm just in the restaurant just crying. And then I built up a little bit resentment towards him because his dad beat it. Like he had
That's
stomach
very
cancer.
Interesting.
So yeah, it just seemed like if
you wanted him to go through the pain.
Didn't want him to go through the pain.
He's poisoning his dad the next year.
Right. It just didn't seem fair, right, to me.
Sure.
And this isn't.
You're also 27.
I'm 27, 29 at the time, whatever.
Very young age. I at least was 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came from a world where like everything fell the right way for his family, and I come from a world where if it can go wrong, it went wrong in my family.
I would have thought that.
Yeah. You're like, we know.
We know. I just always think like I met you and I go, this guy's he's had a tough
comes
run.
From the wrong side of the tracks.
Yeah. There's some heroin in there.
Fuck. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's very funny. Long story short.
Yeah. So but that's interesting. I
didn't want anything bad to happen to him. I just thought, like, why the fuck are you asking me? Like, you want me to describe to you what it's like for a tragedy? I totally
understood him asking that. Like, he was probably assuming, like, you've been through this, you'll understand me asking this question.
Right.
And I was that kid in that situation. Mm-hmm. That's me.
Yeah.
Being like, so what was it like? Like let's get like, and I do it all the time. Like with people, like I can talk about my mom all day. Mm-hmm. I can talk about like serious shit because I've coped with it. I feel comfortable talking about it. Not everybody's like that. Yeah. Like even when I make jokes in front of people, like something comes up like a mom thing, and something will be like that, and I'm like, oh cool, you're bragging, and people are like, oh weird. I'm like, it's not weird. I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just acknowledging it, like it's the way I live with it, and like I look at it as a gift in a way. Like my mom would never want me to not live the fullest life after she died. She want me to live it better, and I look at it as like I've learned how to process it and go through it. So now when all my friends lose their mom, I can be there for them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just I had to do it first. You know, I have a friend back home who's not doing the best from it, but I'm like, you just gotta like, that's not what they would want.
Right.
You know.
Through a different death, I was able to help a buddy of mine who lost his brother.
Yeah. And
he came over the night that he found out his brother died, and I was like, we got a fifth of liquor, and I was like, tell me about him. Let's hear stories about him all night. I want to tell me the thing that pissed you off about him. Tell me what you loved about him. Just keep it going.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I found with any loss situation where I'm working with like a friend who's dealing with something.
Yeah. Did he get too drunk and go, what's it like to not have a dad?
Yeah, he does that all the time, actually. He'll call me.
Even now I'm doing it with you. We're talking about something serious, and I go, well, let me find the joke here, though, too.
No, I love it because I normally find a way to deflate a riff or a joke. If we're on a roll, I'll be like, well, actually, and I'll just fizzle it out. Anyway, moving along to more riff possibilities. I have 5, 6, 7. I have 7 would you rather questions.
Love it.
And then I have one question.
I honestly will answer all of these. Very honest. I'm very honest about would you rathers. I don't have to think about it. My answer is my answer.
Great. Because most people want to fucking pontificate for hours.
No idea what that word means, but go ahead.
It's just a fancy word for think.
Oh. Just use think.
Okay, this is going to be good because you come from Florida. Would you rather cross a river full of piranhas or cross a river full of crocodiles?
Well, crocodiles can't be in a river. It's alligators.
So it's a trick question.
Yeah. Did you know it was a trick
question? Not know. I did not know.
Crocodiles are seawater. Alligators are rivers. So
great.
So there you go. You fucking. Why don't you perfecticate that?
Who wrote this?
Okay. I don't really know about piranhas a lot, to be honest. I feel like you can get by alligators and they might not bother you.
I tend to think the same thing.
Because if you're not around their nest, they might not necessarily attack you.
Yeah.
You know?
But if it's full of piranhas or full of alligators,
can't you just like push the piranhas away and punch them and stuff?
Well, I think alligators, at least you could hop across on their heads. You know, you can just like jump.
I don't. Either way, I'm dead. It sounds like.
Yeah, you're gonna die.
Oh well, then alligators.
I don't know. That's tough because piranhas are like death by 1,000 tiny little bites, but alligators
do they always attack no matter what?
If they smell blood, they will. So they might not attack.
All right, I'll go through them. I feel like I could at least fight them off.
Yeah, there's like thousands of them.
Okay, well then.
What do you want from me?
What do you want from me? Like we're dying. This is not.
This is a dumb one.
This is a dumb. Would you rather?
All right, this will be an easy one. Would you rather teleport or be invisible?
Teleport.
Okay.
It's so easy for stand-up. I'll do shows I'll be in New York right now doing a spot.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. Oh, cool. I got a few spots in New York. Then I go to Chicago. Dude, I'm doing 5 spots a night all over the
more than that
country.
You start.
I don't even want to do more than that, but I'll be tired.
You could do 7 o'clocks in New York and then 3 hours later do 7 o'clocks in LA.
Well, I'd still be doing 3 a week.
Or you could do the 10 a.m. game.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, for sure. I mean, teleporting for sure. Invisible. The only thing out of invisible you're really getting out of it is just creepy, weird shit.
Stuff.
It's just like teleporting is like efficiently. I could make a lot of money.
Yeah, or steal a lot of money.
That too.
Mm-hmm.
Teleport me into the bank real quick. Bam. Sure. Teleport me out.
Boom. That's easy.
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather never eat meat again or only eat meat forever?
Like only eat meat, as in like no vegetables, just
carnivore, straight carnivore, just steaks and chicken, and that's it. No veggies. Or
never eat meat again.
All right. Are you a pescatarian or vegetarian or any of that right now?
No, but I've gone days without eating meat.
Or this one's kind of silly, and it's probably going to get me kicked off of YouTube. Would you rather have silent farts that smelled really bad or odorless farts that are super loud?
Odorless. That are loud because for the laugh.
Very funny. Yeah. Okay, we're on the same page on that.
Because it's like, I gotta be like funny about it. Be like, hey guys, watch this. No, relax. Nobody has to leave.
Wait, do you guys
hear funny?
Do you hear that? Yeah. Okay. Would you rather kiss a jellyfish or step on a crab?
Step on a crab.
Yeah, same. Kiss a jellyfish. That would be fucking hurt. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Would you rather go a year without music or go a year without video games?
A year without video games. And I play a lot of video games, but music is healthy and it's essential to your mental healthness.
I totally agree. I
mean that it just can light me up. Dude. If I can listen, sometimes I listen to a lot of sports shows, right, on YouTube in the car. If I am playing Rufus and I'm on my way to a show, I'm just gonna be loose and have a fun show. Yeah. And I forget to do it sometimes. But like, if I'm in the car jamming, sometimes just driving to a show by myself, listening to music, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I realized I went almost a year without listening to music because I was either
impossible.
Dude, I was listening to somebody I was working with or something I was what about a podcast.
You never were at a bar or anything?
No, like in the car, just in the car.
Or working out, yeah.
Yeah. Working out, I play video.
Going on walks.
I only play video games when I'm working out.
That's
No, I ride my bike my indoor bike every morning for an hour, and I play Call of Duty with weights on my arms. So I hold 2-3 pound weights. So I hold 6 pounds up for an hour.
Is this a bet?
No, I wouldn't work bits on you. And I ride my bike every morning.
Bro, that's crazy.
That's how I do it. It's the only time I play video games.
Oh man, I should get one of those.
Yeah. It's perfect. Working up a sweat.
I'll play Madden tonight.
I put a bunch of hoodies on. Yeah, you should start streaming it. You should start streaming Madden.
Dude, I did it for a little bit during the pandemic, and I was like, I don't want this. I want to be like, I want to play this on my own. I play this for me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, because I think it would be fun if I was playing with someone else and they were streaming it, and I went somewhere and we were playing, and I'm commentating on it. But like, there's something therapeutic and like being mindless and not thinking about work and playing video games that I want to be alone. When I was doing, because I only play Madden or NBA, I don't play Call of Duty. I just play those two sports games from Madden until NFL season ends, and I would just be sitting there going like, oh, I got to talk to them. It's like I don't want to think. I just want to play, and this is for me. So it got away, and I was just like, I don't like this, so I stopped. But I had a Twitch, and it was like up to like 400 followers or something.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and I think the most I made was like $70 a month or something off of it or something.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah,
it's not great.
But like, I was just like, I'm doing this for it. Just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like this was such a thing I grew up doing, as for fun, and it made it not fun. It's like when I used to sell dick towels after shows. I would have to do the bit, and the bit became so unfun for me to do.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like, I have to do this bit to sell this merch.
Right.
And it just made me hate the bit.
My last headliner had like 2 out of his 3 shirts where they had stuff on it from his closer, which was 10 minutes, and he got to the point where he hated doing it.
Yeah.
But if he wanted to sell shirts, he had to do it.
It's the worst.
Yeah. And then people were, Anyway, pick a number 1, 2, 3. Sorry.
1 through 5, but not 3.
Yes, and then that'll be the last one, and then I have a final question, and we'll get you out of here.
1.
If you could find out how and when you die, would you want to know?
Yes. That's just the dumbest question I've ever heard. If someone said no, it's just like, oh, cool, you're just stubborn and stupid.
But it would change every other decision that you make for the rest of your life.
Well, then you're not living the life that you should be.
How could it not affect you?
I'm still gonna do stand-up.
Well, sure, you're gonna do stand-up. But let's say it's like, all right.
Well, how about this?
Next Thursday at 4 o'clock.
It depends what the answer is, obviously. Right. But if the answer was like 80, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, you're like, okay, cool, I'm right on track. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's like next week, then I got to fly home and go be with my family.
Exactly.
But why wouldn't you want to know that then? so you could spend those last moments with them. So like, I don't understand the logic of ever saying no to that answer. How about this? Anyone who wants to say no to that answer, if you ever get that question again on this podcast and they say no, FaceTime me immediately, and I want to argue with them and convince them that they're wrong and make them change their answer. Because there's not a logical reason why you would say no to that. Only to sound mysterious and interesting, like, no, I want to be like, fuck off.
I don't want to know.
Fuck off. You're lying.
I'm not lying. I don't want to know.
That makes no sense.
Listen, does a portion of me...
What if it was a week from now? You don't want to know?
It might be. I have super high blood pressure.
So you wouldn't want to go, oh, I got a week left. Let me go home and spend that last week with my loved ones.
There's a part of me that wants to know, but
That's selfish.
I don't think that it's more than 50%.
Would you agree you're a piece of shit?
Yes. But that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
So you're selfish for not wanting to know?
Yes, I am selfish for not wanting to know.
Okay.
But I think...
You're lying. Would you agree that you're kind of lying?
No, yes. But I don't know how much. There's a percentage. It's not 100% no. It's
not 100% no.
No.
So you can't say no to it then.
But you should play an attorney. Fuck the detective shit. You should play a DA.
I would love to play.
You're built more for a DA
So
anyway.
you would agree that you can't.
No.
You know what the trick is in arguments? You say, would you agree?
Right, and then they agree.
Well, or they can't. You find something that if they can agree to a little bit of your argument.
It's just like sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're fucking lying.
You're like,
dude.
Is this blue? Okay, yes.
Right now,
buy this thing.
Right now, literally it comes in. They're like, hey, how about the guy walks in like this? Dude, you want to find out when you die?
No.
Okay. I'm letting you know right now, if I walk out of here, you can't change the answer. But before I leave, I'm going to tell you this. You might want to know.
Of course I might want to know.
No. I think you should know.
That's different.
Hey, I think you should know.
Can you agree? Can we agree that I think you think we should know?
Everybody should say yes to that answer.
I agree with your answer, but
So you're saying no right now?
I'm not.
The guy walks in. You're saying no
right now.
Yeah. Why? Why? You can only benefit from it. It doesn't hurt you. It only hurts you to say no. You can only benefit from knowing. It's only a plus. It's only a positive. Give me a situation where
what if it's wrong? What if it's wrong?
Then this isn't a real situation.
all right, you got me. Fuck it.
Like, what could go wrong for knowing?
You would change all of your behavior. You would be
Why
a different
is that
person.
a bad thing?
Because I would do degenerate shit. If I only had 3 months left, I would be a piece of shit.
Then why? Then why is that a bad thing? If that's the way you want to spend your last 3 months, why is that bad?
How I would spend my last.
Well, why would you not want to do that? Would you not want to do that? Sounds like you want to do those things.
I want to go do for the next 3 months. Yeah, I would love to just go live.
So then why
in Vegas.
wouldn't you just go do those things? That would be fun.
Because there might be a longer life than 3 months, and I want to go burn my life
now
savings.
You're changing the rules. Burn the savings and have fun. Why would you not want to do that?
All right, you know what?
Thank you.
I'm going to Vegas tomorrow.
What I'm telling you.
I'm going to Vegas tomorrow. All right, this is how we end. I ask everybody this last question. What's the best meal you've ever had in your whole life?
Best meal?
Mm-hmm. It can go one of two ways. Some people say a fine dining experience, and some people talk about the best home-cooked meal they've ever had.
It'd be the company. The company you're with is the best meal.
So when was the time that you had the best company?
I don't know. There's quite a few times, but...
Nothing stands out as like the top?
You know, there's so many different answers I could give. I could give like a cute one, a nice one. I'm like, oh yeah, mom's 70th birthday, but like that was fine. It wasn't like that fun. It was just the last time. Mm-hmm. But it was, you know, there's like meals. Like, is the answer like what kind of food too? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it like, I mean, just yeah, growing up memories with my grandmother and her cooking. Like like one of those holiday dinners at her house, and people are arguing, and it's just like anxiety driven, and it's like, oh, are they gonna keep fighting? Like, this is bad. Like one of those that would be comforting. My dad yelling with his mom, like one of those meals where it's like my uncle, and then like my aunt says something, and my uncle's like, shut the fuck up, you know, like, and it's just like you're just like, all right, this is chaos. This is great. This is what I grew up in.
So there's comfort in the chaos. Yeah.
Because it's like I don't have that anymore. It's all gone.
Yeah.
It's all gone, and it's like, oh, how can I create that? Will I?
You can't.
Because you can't. Because no woman would ever accept a life like that anymore. It's so taboo. This is the 80s. You had men telling women to shut their fucking mouth. You had men talking back to the mother, constant yelling. Who knows what it was about because it was an Italian. And I'm just like sitting there worried, like going, what's going on? Giving me trauma, teaching me how to communicate with women to where when I'm older and I have girlfriends that I'll communicate with them like that. It's deep-rooted trauma. So, of course, it's comforting.
So you never learned Italian?
No.
Maybe that's what it is. You just got to learn Italian, and then you can talk to your wife however you want.
As long as she doesn't understand.
That's right.
There we go.
Find you a Spanish woman.
Home cooked meal with all the dead relatives and family members. That would be a good meal. Just Italian.
That's a good answer.
Is it?
Yeah.
Cool.
No one's ever said that before. People are always like, oh, my grandma's meatballs or whatever.
Fuck her meatballs, dude.
That's the name of this episode.
Fuck her meatballs.
Fuck her meatballs.
Yeah.
Grab her by the meatballs.
Grab her by the meatballs. Trump 2024.
Michael Lenoci.
Just kidding. I don't vote.
You don't vote?
No.
We'll save
Does it
that
matter in California?
It doesn't. Well, locally.
It's gonna be blue.
Locally, yes.
Oh, I guess if it comes in the mail, I'll do my due diligence. Whatever I have to vote for to get gambling legalized in California. That's really all I care about.
You don't want the film business to come back?
It's never coming back, bro.
Oh, we just got a $500 million incentive. It's not going to do shit.
Bro, it's never coming back because people are paying to just shoot their own stuff and make it. Right? Streaming.
Yeah, Netflix just built a huge complex in New Mexico. Michael Lenoci. Do you ever is it always Michael? You ever go Mike?
People call me Lenoci.
That's true.
Comics. And no one really says Mike anymore.
Yeah.
They'll either be Lenoci. Yeah, just Lenoci.
All right, Lenoci.
Some people go Mike Lenoci, but I guess who knows?
Gotta hold it the right way. Oh, let's get our thumbnails. Let's get our.
Oh. What did you? Oh, you mean? Oh, gotcha.
No one's done that either.
It's a dad joke.
Yeah, that's very funny.
You want my thumbnails? Okay. Why?
That's gonna be the thumbnail. You got to do it to this camera.
Oh.
Sick. Thank you for being here, and
we'll
see you next time. We got to do the intro real quick, if you don't mind. 1 more minute.
I'm just standing. I'm just looking for a trash can.
That's fine. You just put it on the floor.
All right. Intro.
We'll see you next time, everybody.
See you guys.
Yep.
See you.